It's like yesterday you were sitting in that.
I know. And it's
Brett
crazy.
Sidibaka and his family know all about sports injuries. As captain of his university football team, he threw himself into the game, literally. But it all ended with 2 concussions in 2013 that knocked him off the field and nearly cost him his education.
My life took a turn. When I was at school suffering for 6 weeks on end in my room in the dark, not being able to leave to go to the cafeteria, to go to class, to talk with my friends, that's a really low point in your life.
His parents spent the next year helping him recover. They set up an organization called One Hit Away to help athletes and families get over head injuries.
This is an injury that's invisible. People don't see a broken brain, so therefore they don't really talk about it or deal with it until it happens to their own family.
I found a disease.
Last year's Hollywood film Concussion casts actor Will Smith as the Nigerian-American pathologist Benedict Malu, who discovered that head injuries suffered in football games were causing depression and mental decline in former players. Opposed at first by the NFL, he's now a much sought-after public speaker.
I think the movie Concussion has taken it from the depth of the valley to the mountain peak of the American psyche. I think people are becoming enlightened, and I think we're moving forward.
Last season, NFL fans were shocked when a player named Chris Borland quit in his first season after several concussions. Then the league settled a big lawsuit by former players suffering from mental illness and depression. The NFL says it's making the game safer with awareness, rule changes, and technology. That may be so, say critics, but too many young players are getting injured, and that has to change.
We're having a big national conversation in this country about really what's the future of football, and the big change that we need is that kids shouldn't be playing anymore. We have to accept that this is an adult's game, it's very dangerous, and we can't be hitting 5-year-olds in the head 400 times under some mystique that we're teaching them something they couldn't learn in any other way.
Amid the growing awareness and publicity about head trauma, fewer players are taking to the field these days as parents keep them home or send them to less riskier pastimes. There's no doubt this country's favorite sport has to change if it's to continue being as popular as it was. Daniel Lack, Al Jazeera, Millbrae, California. American football is more than a sport here. It's a celebration for families, friends, entire cities. It's also a chance for fans to test their own skills without the pressure of a big game. The atmosphere is friendly, even between rival supporters whose teams are doing battle Super Bowl Sunday.
Woo! It's going to be great. It's going to be good
I feel
stuff.
the same way. I just can't scream that loud.
And who's going to win?
Broncos.
Panthers.
Broncos.
Panthers.
Broncos!
The name of the game is defense.
This will be the 50th year of the championship. It began rather tentatively, and for a decade, few expected it would grow to dominate U.S. sport. 87-year-old Jerry Green is one of only 2 journalists who's been to every Super Bowl so far. He's seen a lot of change.
It has become chaotic. The first one was very sedate. Well, I think it's probably the growth of civilization, if I could say that. It's a, you know, for Americans, it's our biggest sporting event.
There's certainly a lot of money involved. Advertisers pay $5 million for 30-second commercials during the game. All that revenue, shared among broadcasters, players, and the National Football League, makes for huge profits. The league says it reinvests to improve the sport.
To sum up our approach, I would say this: get better. That's our goal. In everything we do and every day we will work to get better in every way. That's what our teams do, and that's what the league will do.
Hours, even days before the game begins, the party's underway here in downtown San Francisco, a city that's had, shall we say, mixed feelings about hosting this big sports event. Some say the public costs of hosting the game, security, maintenance, overcrowding, outweigh the benefits in a city that has one of the most visible homeless populations in the country.
How do we best spend taxpayer dollars? San Francisco has an eviction crisis. We have an affordability crisis. We have a homeless crisis. We should be using taxpayer dollars to solve these important issues, not pay for a party for the rich.
Super Bowl 50 may be crowded, expensive, and glitzy, but the fans seem to love it. It's the climax of their football season, and they're ready to soak it all in once again. Daniel Lack, Al Jazeera, San Francisco.